will be married 24 years in October. He always laughs because I always forget our anniversary. And we've known each other for 27 years. Obviously, one thing about Paul is he is the hardest working person I have ever met in my entire life. And when he has a task or an idea about a task, he not only has the vision, but he is willing to put unbelievable amounts of his energies into making something happen. I could talk about him forever. He is the most unusual person and unique person I have ever met. And he just has an unbelievable kindness about him, an unbelievable sense of fairness in the world.
Well, what Paul brings to the table is what most successful leaders bring to the table, and that's success. Because everything that I know that Paul has decided that he wants to be involved in, it becomes more successful as a result of his involvement. Well, Paul, I want to talk about horizons here just a minute, as far as something that was very unique about Paul the whole time he was here. And organizations tend to be strong if they're strong within. And Paul never missed an opportunity to have the teaching faculty and the administrators of the program over to his house to visit the activities, the operations. He was well known for making every single teacher, every volunteer, and every employee feel like they were important and were making a major contribution to the organization.
Having Paul and Susan in this community has been one of the greatest good fortunes that I can think of that's happened around here. They've immersed themselves in a variety of causes. Paul Hirscbiel, almost single-handedly, has spearheaded the effort to keep this issue of early childhood development on the front burner in Southampton Roads and across the state. As I tell everybody, Paul is the one that drives the train. If he wasn't here pushing all of us to get behind this effort, it wouldn't be happening. He's personable. He's a wonderful people person. He gets along with everybody. You just can't help but like Paul. It's very hard to say no to him when he asks you to do something.
He came on the program, he came into the foundation shortly before we got a very large grant from the Batten family, Frank and Jane Batten, to work with early childhood development. And we saw, and the Batten saw, and Paul saw, that is maybe the most pressing social issue of our time, that if we can't help these youngsters get started in the world with education and training, that they almost don't have a chance. He does it, first of all, he is very enthusiastic about whatever he takes on is contagious. He's bright, he understands things, and he gets very focused on projects that are important to him. He doesn't work on 20 different projects at once, and his friends know that when he's involved in a project, it's sort of the good housekeeping seal of approval. You know it's been vetted, you know he's sold on the project, and you don't have to worry about whether it's good or not. You know it's good.
Paul Hirscbiel is a great friend of early childhood education in the Southampton Roads area and the entire Commonwealth. With Paul's passion and persistent leadership, we have made great strides in developing a strong foundation to support the successful school readiness of every child in Virginia. And for me, there's no goal that's more important or honorable. Paul's work on the Early Learning Council, the Virginia Early Childhood Foundation, and his participation with my working group on early childhood initiatives, and then especially his efforts with Smart Beginnings Southampton Roads, are examples of his wonderful leadership and service. I want to thank my friend Paul for being such a committed and effective champion for Virginia's youngest children. The award you're receiving tonight is well deserved. Please accept my congratulations and deepest gratitude. And Paul, one more thing. I know your friends and others often make fun of the fact that you're bald, and I just want to tell you that take it in good spirit. My staffers give me trouble too. They give me trouble about my left eyebrow, which is apparently uncontrolled, and recently, without my knowledge, they printed these and distributed them all over Virginia and all over the Democratic Convention in Denver. I took it in stride, and so can you. And I'm going to teach you how to do this sometime when we're together next. Thanks, and have a great night.
Nobody gives back to the community the way Paul and Susan Hirschbiel do. And I've known Paul for over a decade as it was actually New York's loss and Hampton Roads' gain when Paul and Susan moved back to the community. And he has been involved in everything, whether it's early childhood education, which he is absolutely passionate about, the Horizons program, involved in community activities. I even drag him occasionally into political affairs as well. This is a guy who cares with all his heart. He's been blessed with financial success, but he realizes with that success comes an obligation to give back. And I can't think of somebody that's more worthy of the Josh Darden Award. I can't think of somebody that better represents the overall Hampton Roads community. And I can't think of a guy that is one of my better friends and somebody that I enjoy spending time with.
I think Paul has been bald since he was 7 or 8. I mean, I have seen a couple of high school pictures with comb over, but pretty much he's been pretty bald since I met him. I've been trying to convince him forever that I love bald men, and especially love the way he looks when he's bald, but he's sensitive about it. He's much more comfortable about it as he's kind of growing into it, and all the other men have gotten bald along with him.
If being bald equates to intelligence and leadership and success, then that's why Paul is bald.
Tall and bald would describe how basketball players in the Olympics, although they're bald by shaving their heads. Paul is bald by nature.
If I have to make a bald assessment of Paul's approach, this is the most anally compulsive individual I've ever met. Thank God he directs most of that bald ambition he's got towards helping other people. Paul Hirscbiel. Just because I'm telling these folks the real deal about you, Paul, doesn't mean that I get booted out of the guest house next time I'm down.